Only girl cat now. I got one girl cat because I don't have GoldDigger anymore. So this is son. That's her son, Dixie. I want to talk about this Carbon C60. Carbon C60 must have been saving GoldDigger the cat this whole time. You know, I did pick up. I really heavily documented with all these videos that I was remarking how well she was doing back. So I guess I started the Carbon C60 around December 15th, 2018. I think the first time I videoed it was maybe December 18th, excuse me, December 15th, 2017, almost 2 years ago. And the first time I videoed the cat with the Carbon C60, I think it was December 18th, 2017. That was GoldDigger the cat, and she was responding well to it after not having good response or any response to her skin condition, which was redness in the skin under the fur. Back when I took her to the vet in November, like the third week of November 2017. Again, she was a cat that came over by me. I thought she just got lost. She came here, I think October 3rd, 2017. First time I filmed her was October 4th, 2017. She came by me, and actually she could not jump. And see, I got the cat food up here. So I'm getting ready to wash that stuff out and give them Doc Willard water, add life vitamins and stuff, and put more cat food there for Mr. Dixie and stuff. But she could not jump on the El Camino. I remember I had her out here on a big piece of cardboard, clean piece of cardboard, and she used to stay right in this one spot, and I'd watch her with the security camera. She'd be there all the time. She'd never leave, and she hardly ever wandered. So I figured she was somebody's cat, and I was very reluctant to bring her inside for at least a couple months. And then I started bringing her inside off and on, and she was inside all the time because she's a frail thing. Never picked up that she was an older cat, and she was likely abandoned. But the Carbon C60, she was likely abandoned by her owners because she had health issues. And I just thought she was a frail kitten, and then I realized maybe she wasn't a kitten, but she was frail. Never picked up she was an older cat. The Carbon C60 must have been keeping her issues at bay. But once an issue goes bad, I stopped the Carbon C60 in, I think it was around June 1st, June 1st, 2019. I started Live On Labs colostrum on May 15th, 2019. And she had such good results from that, I started backing off the Carbon C60. And she gets, I put Doc Willard water in here. I actually got 2 more cases of cat food. Here's, just unloaded them. He's got 6 treats and things and stuff in here. But I want to drive home more points about, because I've been hearing a lot of rumors about this Carbon C60, and that was part of the reason I backed off on it. Well, so anyway, GoldDigger the cat was starting to get this. I actually gave her Purple Power, and then there was another brand that came from Texas. It was a high quality Carbon C60. I started using this Good and Cheap, but the Good and Cheap seem to work fine too. And I think they've improved their product a lot. I think it's $18 for one of these bottles, 100 milliliters. I think that's 3.3 ounces. So she was doing great on this stuff. And actually it turned out to be I did not know. I should have kept up on this. But I heard all these rumors too. That was another thing. I heard all these rumors. Oh, it's this, it's that. I didn't really believe the rumors, but when I added this, the colostrum, this bag's almost empty. I got 3 more full bags. It was like a miracle. This was 2018. She was doing good here. This was June 2019. This is June 2019. She was like flawless in June 2019. And as soon as this got out of her system, the cancer started growing. She had some kind of precancerous condition. It's probably always underlying there. That skin issue was, and she was always a fussy eater. And I thought, the cat is not a fussy eater. Sometimes they are, but she was an extra fussy eater because that tongue issue that she had, she developed a large tumor on her tongue back just a couple months ago or a month ago, and she's always had some kind of issue where that there was something on that tongue whereby she would eat the gravy of the food mainly and leave the rest. Some of the food was more difficult for her to eat. I didn't realize this. I thought she was a fussy eater. Some cats are fussy eaters, and most cats do only like the gravy more, but there was some issue going on with her tongue from day one. Not as severe like as it turned out to be, but those are probably all precancerous conditions. I think they're all being held at bay by the carbon C60 and olive oil. This is actually still a good brand. It's good and cheap brand. It's still fine. Despite the price, it's still good. And I think they were a little bit off in how they produced it when they were first getting going, but I think now they're making a very, very high quality product for a good price, because I could tell the taste is better. It seems like it was a little bit burnt when I first was taking these things, and I think they fixed that issue, but they even dropped their price as the volume went up. But between this and this, there was a Miracle Plus Dad Life vitamins. Now, there was other things I was always giving her, but it was kind of in a rotating basis. There was like olive leaf extract, hemp oil, high quality hemp oil, and also what do you call that? Astragalus root. There's a few other things. I forgot what I was giving her, but if you look back in the videos, there was a lot of stuff this girl was getting, and all those things probably helped keep the cancer at bay from taking root. But an ounce of prevention, I can't even say it's worth a pound of cure. An ounce of prevention is worth 10 tons of cure. What may have saved her possibly, but I didn't know how to do this. Now I'm looking at the subcutaneous IV solution, saline solution. I could have easily done that. That does not seem difficult to do at all. I think just watched a procedure on how to do that. I could have done that for her. But what I think would have probably maybe reversed her severe situation is if I administered our sodium bicarbonate IV. Pretty much did everything I could do with, and but in the future here, actually in the future, if I see a cat develop something like this, first off, I'm going to make sure to get the carbon C60 and the Doc Willard water. The Doc Willard water could help prevent cancer in some ways. Even that, they'll tell you no, but if you look at the farmers in South Dakota, they've been using this on animals for decades. It's great stuff. People take it. I'm taking it now. But the carbon C60, I'm going to say this, the carbon C60 is work, you can look at, all the medical sites that are posting information. Like I said, even back in the 1980s, the New York Times talked about the carbon C60 having anti-cancerous, anti-tumorous activities. Even them, okay? But they didn't really publish it out there. They published it, but they didn't really emphasize it. They didn't really put it as headline news or anything. But it's in there. So there's a lot of evidence that it does have anti-cancerous activities. Now, the reason is, I'm going to say this, cancer, the whole model where they talk about cancer being a genetic disease is total garbage. It really is. You look at, I look at a lot of people that are doctors, and it's not just some of the, now I just looked at Thomas Seyfield's videos, several of them. Actually, I watched them when I was at the gym for a couple hours. And there's other videos I watched about, starving cancer and things. I don't know if you could do that with starve cancer well with a cat, because a cat really can't go without food long. But the thing is, cancer is really more of a metabolic disease, and I think that this is something I kind of knew, and I knew about the baking soda, but you can't give a cat baking soda, so I was giving her the Doc Willard water. But the metabolic disease, in other words, the metabolic portion of the disease, let's put it that way, was being thwarted by the carbon C60. Because the carbon C60, you notice that a lot of people, when they take it, they say they get a lot more energy. Personally, me, I didn't notice any difference in energy. I noticed a big energy difference with this. That was one of the main reasons I decided to keep on just doing that and not doing this. But she really needed both. This was keeping her alive, this more than anything than that. But the energy is really with the energy sacs of the cells in the mitochondria. That's the ATP production. One of the theories that is going on with carbon C60, and they're not even sure exactly how it works. It does detox because it's carbon, and it does stay in the body for about 30 days after you take it. But the thing is, she probably was also getting energy increases. I noticed this noticeably when she first started getting this back in December of 2017. Her energy jumped up, but she was always a low energy cat. Like if she jumped up on this bed, she'd have to claw her way up. I'd hear her, she wasn't bad. She wasn't doing bad. That's how she was. And I figured she's just kind of a frail cat. Then I said later when she gets the cancer, I'm thinking, God, she was an older cat. Duh. I didn't realize that. She, when you look at her, she looks like a little baby, right? I mean, you would never think I mean, how do you tell when you look at a cat if she's old or not? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell, and the vet didn't know. So, and no vet knew. So they originally thought she was. I thought she was not even a year old when she came over, and I said maybe she's only 2 or 3 years old. So 2 or 3 years old. Now the whole thing comes together. But the thing is that the carbon C60. One of the things they say how it works is that it delivers hydrogen to the cells, into the mitochondria, and that's increasing your energy. And it's like the energy exchange that's going on in the mitochondria, the ATP. It's helping assist that somehow with hydrogen. So the body is dependent upon hydrogen, even more so than oxygen. Actually, both are necessary. We have twice as much hydrogen in our body than we have oxygen. And the thing is, this keeping the metabolic function of the cells working better because of carbon C60 is probably the real reason why this is more effective against cancer than thinking about the standard models of cancer, which have to be wrong, because every year there's more people dying of cancer, and they just keep making more money with research, quote unquote, going down the wrong path, because it's a racket. Maybe I can't say that on a new, let's just call it this way. I'll say this about YouTube in this way. YouTube is not really making the policy. The policy is being made by outside forces that have always been with us. YouTube for a while was an independent voice and a voice of the people, and now it has become taken over by outside forces. So, me saying this, that there's, research going on with cancer that's just sucking up money and not really doing anything, maybe that won't be allowed to be said on YouTube as hateful speech. Who the hell knows? Because, obviously it's not even Susan doing this. It's like she caved, but the whole platform's going to go under if it gets freaking that screwed up. But the thing is, the carbon C60 is, and this is going on BitChute anyway, automatically. Everything I put up now from now on goes on BitChute. But it's linked. But if the carbon C60 is keeping the mitochondria working better, the energy flow in and out of the cells. It's when that mitochondria changes is when cancer develops. And it's a metabolic disease. See, the thing is, I was feeding her, and the food is not, it's like, it's going into fermentation. It's not going into live, living cells the way it should be. The cells are actually fermenting. And actually, to prevent that, that's like a lower level of life. And to prevent that from happening is, the carbon C60 is actually preventing that from happening. So these people that are putting out all this information about the carbon C60 is going to work with the 5G and all this kind of crap, if anything, in the nanotechnology, the carbon C60 would do the opposite. It's common sense. I'm not going to give you a scientific argument, but carbon C60 is known for removing toxins. If they're putting chemtrails in the sky, whatever, say for instance they're doing that, right? The carbon C60 is going to remove that. If they're putting nanobot technology in, it's an artificial mechanism. It's not part of your body. It's like whatever that stuff is. Carbon is this kind of stuff. It's going to remove that. It's going to take that out. It's not going to freaking assist it. And you see, when I look at these things, I realize that somebody told somebody something along the line, and there's always planted disinformation in the beginning, and then you just let it flow. In other words, you let other people put out that disinformation. This stuff is not something newly developed. What carbon C60 was newly developed in that it was found to be ways to create it in a laboratory. But carbon C60 has been on this earth for umpteen thousands of years. There's one part of Russia where it was hit by a meteor, and it has been used by people for thousands of years with great effect. As a matter of fact, by that lake where the meteor hit, the water is like pristine clear and safe to drink because of this. The Tibetan monks have been using shalachic extract. It's like a tar that contains some of this carbon C60 with great health effects for many years, hundreds and hundreds of, maybe thousands of years. So the product has been tested. It's like it's been thoroughly tested. Anything that's been an herb or something in Chinese medicine, this is not an herb, but I mean, like an example, something that's been an herb in Chinese medicine or whatever for many thousands of years, it's safe. If they're talking about ginger or something and whatever it has effects on, it's not something brand new. I'd be more highly suspected of the pharmaceutical industry, but that's the big ogre in the room that he's even. I noticed all my medical videos are no longer on the top of my health videos, whatever it is. None of those. They used to be one of my higher viewed videos. All those got pushed down. And I notice on YouTube now, it's like anything has got to be MD, more drugs, in my opinion. That's what that means. Or, so in other words, the big ogre has stopped YouTube. So this video is definitely going on BitChute. Everything's linked. And I did request monetization again. They told me, we'll get back to you in a month or so usually. But I don't know where that's going to go. I deleted 54 videos off my platform, but I don't know what the hell they want. 10,000, oh man, I got 6,000 something videos up there. I don't know what the hell they want. I'm just telling you that when you see this information I'm putting out, that is common sense information. And you're thinking, so to say something happens with my channel, it's going to be on BitChute. Now, the other thing is, if I don't get remonetized on YouTube, I'm going to probably devote more of my energy going back to accounting, and I can make 6 figures. So why the hell would I do this for a tiny fraction of what the hell I'd be making anyway? But I do this for other reasons. You notice, like, you saw my desperate efforts to save, Miss GoldDigger, Tiffany, whatever, the cat, and that is why I'm on YouTube, to help people. So, I don't take crap from people who tell me I'm stupid. I'm like, hey, whatever. I mean, I talk like I'm from up New Jersey. I am from New Jersey. But that doesn't mean I'm stupid. But the thing is, she's going to, well, we'll see. I'm going to learn how to do this, the IV subcutaneous. I'm going to learn how to, that seems easy. I'm going to find out if you could do that with the sodium bicarbonate solution. If I would have done that could have maybe made a difference, because I don't know if, the theory is like cancer is a fungus is correct, but there is something going on where the cells turn into like a fermenting cell. It's like a fermenting cell. It's almost like it's a different mechanism that's going on. It's not like a life mechanism going on in the mitochondria like it normally is. So, the sodium bicarbonate, maybe it's not the right word to use when Dr. Tullio Simoncini says cancer is a fungus, but in a way he's right, because maybe it's the cells have turned into operating like a fungus. In other words, they're fermenting. They're not the mitochondria is not working right, and the sodium bicarbonate seems to really affect that in a way whereby it takes out the bad and reinforces the good by being an electron donor. That could have possibly saved her. If I saw one of my cats, I'm going to try to prevent this from happening to any of my cats. But if I see this happen to one of my cats in the future, I am going to try to save them. This time I'll have the spooky Phanatron bulb. I'll recognize the problem earlier. I'll have the spooky scalar unit, which I'll probably have with the generator X by that time. I don't think nothing's happening to my cats anyway, but I'm also going to have access to subcutaneous IV with sodium bicarbonate. And in the meantime, anything I have that I got for her, as a matter of fact, I think the one guy that would probably be the most, but might have the problem in the future, it would be Boots, the Confederate cat. He's going to get some of the Life Gold drops and all that type of stuff that I bought for her, and Green Spark formula, just in small doses to help boost his immune system against any cancer. I don't know how old that cat is. No idea. But I will try to save him, and I'll have better stuff this time, and I will have the IV. But I'm thinking is, this goes a long way to, it does have anti-cancerous activity, but an ounce of prevention is worth 10 pounds of cure. This stuff has been keeping her alive for far longer than anything, more so than the vitamins, more so. She liked the Whiskas perfectly chicken food. This was her in June this just a couple months ago. So this was June 17th, I believe, June 17th or June 14th, I think June 17th, 2019, and I had to put her to sleep. First signs of trouble August 3rd, but I stopped this on June 1st, so that stayed in her system for about a month. So it was in her system, finally washed out of her system, say July. August 3rd, first signs of trouble. August 15, advanced cancer, real bad. And then, you know, all my desperate measures weren't enough to reverse that. This probably would have kept her alive more years. It was almost a guarantee. But I never realized, you know, what the issues were with her. She couldn't come over and say, yeah, I was born April 1st, 2001. I know it's 2017. I was a 16-year-old cat now. And, you know, then I would have adjusted my, you know, I assumed the other way around. I always thought she was a kitten. And I thought maybe she's 2 or 3 years old. I didn't realize. But anyway, so, you know, this stuff is not BS, because one of the most obvious things that could tell you something's good or not is like when you hear people say, oh, I felt so good from taking this. Now, sometimes that's true, because maybe that's the missing link in their, you know, their matrix of diet that they miss. Like if you're missing one thing like B12, you know, somebody might say it's great because that was the one thing they were missing. But in this case, you're hearing a lot of reports across a wide variety of issues. This works great, but it also works great on dogs and cats. They do not have that placebo effect. In other words, I have an old dog, and he couldn't hardly make it up the stairs, and all this. And all of a sudden now he's flying up those stairs after I was giving him carbon C60. What's going on? It's actually improving the actual metabolic function of all the cells in a dog. It works on all living animals, or in people, everybody. A lot of people, I personally, like I said, the only thing I really improved my metabolic function. Maybe this is working too. I'm afraid to stop this now. I got to get another freaking stash of it. I got about 5 bottles left of it, and right now, but this is still pretty good. I usually keep about 15 on hand. But this is what actually helped me personally more than anything. But then again, it could be the key thing I was missing. Don't expect everybody to have the same results. But you know, that's another issue. But this seems to work overall for a lot of things. But I have noticed better vision. There's absolutely no doubt I have better vision with this. This was keeping her alive. This is not. I think somebody out there, somebody from the alphabet agencies has planted information, and you know, some people, you know, picked it up and published things. And I'm not one, even though I'm a layman, and you know, probably be frowned on by the, well, you know, I realize I'm not dealing with YouTube anymore for censorship. I'm dealing with the ogres out of New York City. Do I know that kind of people? Yeah, they're vicious. That's why I don't live around there. And I hate them. I hate them with a passion. They're smooth as shit on the outside, and they're freaking sadistic and satanic on the inside. And they vacuum money like a tornado. And but they are the ogre behind the scenes that is put. You know, everybody's saying, "Hey, YouTube selling it." Yeah, it's not exactly them exactly, but maybe the tech people on the top. Yeah, it could be. The people you see, the faces like you, Susan, and stuff. I don't know. I don't know where the hell she stands. She's just worried about keeping her job. That's what she's worried about. Anyway, I gotta feed my family. Anyway, but you boo boo. She's the most human cat I ever freaking met. This is why I miss her so much. She's too human. She must have been somebody's cat, probably the only cat, and these people must have been jerks because if they abandoned her, they had to be some kind of jerks. But she could read my mind. She could, any cat. I've had a bunch of cats, right? This cat, this GoldDigger cat, she could read my mind. She knew exactly what was going on. I was like, she had a whole language. It wasn't English. It was like, you know, whatever. I mean, all kinds of, yeah. I was like, she's so sweet. She knew exactly how to freaking get at me, man. Holy shit. Big time. Boy, she knew how to get at me. And, you're a human. You're not a cat. You're a human in a cat's body. That's what you are. Anyway, I can't believe this one was in a league of her own. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And you know, what you know, the thing is, like, now what I'm seeing is this is what saved her. She probably would have died well over a year ago without that stuff. I almost guarantee it. There was so many, and I documented these things. I saw so many issues with her fur, the redness. You look over here. She was looking really good here. No redness. Actually, all this here. This looks a little. This was the shadow. There was nothing going on here. She was fine. This is perfect. This is all like just a few months ago. But I had this. This was still in her system, along with that. And this stuff, you'll hear a lot of good reports about carbon C60 on the dogs and the cats and stuff. You know, you'll never hear about that from a vet in a million years. You know, well, they got to figure a way to make money off it. And this Good and Cheap brand, you don't need to put too much in their food. You can use the one with the olive oil. I know the guy Purple Power says the avocado and the ones the coconut oil because they let cats like it better and maybe better. There's not that much of it you got to use in a kitty cat. If you put like 15 drops in there, that's twice a day. You're pretty good. You're good to go. I wasn't doing that much in her food. Sometimes you put like a half a teaspoon. I mean, that's a lot more than 15 drops, but I put a squirt in there, which is more than 15 drops. That's what I usually do. But she did well on that stuff, man. She did very well on that stuff. The vet, when I said it a few times, the vet gave her that convenient antibiotic shot for her fur. That issue with the fur, I mean the skin under the fur, when the fur was coming out, and there's redness, and there's all these little black dots from, something oozing out of the skin. She actually got a gazillion times better when I gave her the carbon C60. And when this was combined, flawless. But this was absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. That seemed to be, there was some kind of, I guess when cancer develops, it's like they use these things pre-cancerous and stuff. It's aging. It's aging. It's like if you keep your energy and vitality up, it's the breaking down of the mitochondria in the cells and the energy levels of the body going down. That's why you can get rid of cancer and it comes right back. You say you got rid of all your cancer, it'll come right back because your body's actually changing to a more primitive state, basically. Maybe that's one way of putting it. It's almost like you're not going from the state of life. You're going from the state of life to fermentation. And fermentation is that's like fungus, basically. That's why maybe Dr. Tullio C. Mancini's not using the exact right word, which a lot of times I don't use the exact right word. I'm not a professional. But boy, I can laser in common sense way better than a lot of professionals with loads of initials after their names and degrees and education. Because sometimes they're looking at a speck of tree bark and they can't even stand back and look at the forest. Hey, do you notice there's a whole bunch of these freaking redwood trees around here while you're staring at that one little 1-inch space of tree bark trying to analyze what the hell's wrong with it? You dumb egghead. That's why guys like me are pretty good at some things. Even more so than the experts. This is why YouTube's got it. Well, we'll see. We'll hope we could twist. It's not YouTube we got to focus on. We got to focus on in New York. Sadist. That's what they are. Oh man, I'm from up that area, man. I'm not talking about the average smo in New York. I'm talking about the financial elite. They're evil as oil. They're the ones twisting the arms behind YouTube, and the tech elite. They're beyond probably people you don't even know. So hopefully they really survive up here on YouTube, and because I have stated a number of things, probably, well, if it cuts into the business of the pharmaceutical, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it. They're liars. They're left definitely are. And if this gets judged as hate speech, well, guess what? You're the ones that's hating. Like I said, if I'm not on YouTube anymore, I'll be making 6 figures doing accounting, construction accounting more than likely, and I'm going to start using part of that money to actually get back at these yo-yos. Big time. Anyway, over and out.